Do I have a long tongue? Well, you're probably not thinking whether I have a long tongue, but you might be thinking about your own long tongue.
Well, the average female tongue is said to be around 3.1 inches or 7.9 centimetres long. About as long as this.
Whereas the average male tongue is slightly longer, and that is 3.3 inches or 8.5 centimetres.
They look quite similar, don't they?
There really is. There's only a tiny bit in it,
tiny bit in it.
But
this is our next guest, Nick. He's definitely bigger than average. He holds the Guinness World Record for the longest tongue on the planet, which is an incredible 3.97 inches or 10.1 centimetres long.
Well, he says his supersized feature has quite a lot of uses, and he joins us now to tell us more.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Stoked to be here.
It's thrilled to have you here. So, so you are an American government official. You can't tell us what you do.
Precisely.
And has that got anything to do with your tongue?
I may or may not be the result of a government experiment like the Hulk. Yes.
Really? Yeah, OK.
Yes. If I'm not careful, I may turn green.
That is going to be all over TikTok now because they're going to believe it.
Ah, very good.
So you are an American secret weapon. With your tongue, Clodagh asked it earlier on when she was in the kitchen. How do you find out that you have such a thing?
Well, I think if you're born with it, you're kind of aware of it. I mean, as a kid, you know, sticking my tongue out, of course, it was longer than other people who may have been sticking their tongue out at me. So, yeah, I've had just sort of a self-awareness. And then in high school, I got the nickname Gene Simmons. Yeah, and so that's kind of when it became more popular.
And so how do you get it officially recognised? Because obviously you've got the Guinness World Records. You think, well, my tongue's pretty long. I wonder if it's the longest. You get in touch with them. Because it's a process.
It's a very complicated process. It was an existing record, so Guinness sent me criteria, which I had to follow to the T, and part of that was going to a medical staff. So I had to go to medical staff and request, yes, I'd like for you to measure my tongue in this sort of way, to which most doctors that I went to first said, please get out of my office.
So in what sort of way, then? How is the length of your tongue officially measured?
So you have to take 3 measurements from the top of the closed lip to the tip of the tongue. And the average of those 3 get put on a medical statement. And it's all filmed, and then there's a medical statement, witnesses, signatures, all that, for Guinness to evaluate, yeah.
And as we said, you know, there are many benefits to this.
Yes.
One being, and let's start with this one, that you don't have to use a napkin if you get any food around your face.
That is true, though in restaurants I will try to be polite and use a napkin, but if I can't find one, well, I'll just sort of
lick it off your cheek.
All the way around.
Exactly, yeah, it's very eco-friendly.
Where else does it come in handy?
Making friends, generally speaking, yes. It's a very popular sort of trick, I guess, at parties and stuff. So people always want to talk to me, and then people always introduce other people to me by saying, oh, this is Nick. He's got the Guinness World Record for longest tongue. So socially, it's quite useful.
This runs in the family as well, though, doesn't it?
My brother has a similar proportion tongue. He's not same stature as me. He's a little bit smaller, but he has a very long tongue proportionally as well, yeah.
You can obviously lick your nose. I mean, that would be an obvious one, yes. You can lick your elbow.
I can, yeah.
It's because
it's meant to be in.
That.
If you ever get something on your elbow, you know, just any food on the elbow, just go ahead and
lick your elbow.
And the most impressive one, which we've been talking about all morning, is the art, the fact that your tongue can paint.
Picasso.
Yes, I was given the nickname Picasso for my artwork. I was happy to be able to use my Guinness World Record for something that could be productive and expressive, and so I've been able to do that, and it's been real fun.
Well, you're going to demonstrate this for us now. You have to wrap your tongue in cling film.
Yeah, safety first. So always wrap my tongue in cling film, and then I'll add the paint, and I'll get to work.
How did you discover you could do this?
Well, I saw a YouTube video of a man painting with his tongue. I thought, that's pretty cool.
Yeah?
So I thought I would try it, but I want to put cling film so that way it's safer.
Does that not make you feel sick? Like you're going to gag?
No, it doesn't actually.
I mean, you've painted the Mona Lisa, haven't you?
I actually did. Yeah.
Oh, look.
Look at her.
How long did that take you?
That took me about 24 hours.
24 hours?
Did it?
Over the course of like months.
Yeah.
Does it get tired painting for that long, your tongue? No? It's good stamina.
Let's let him do it, shall we?
So
We should have the Vision On music here. We've got Tony Hart or something whilst he's doing this.
you're painting us here, are you?
OK. There it is. Well done, sound.
It's so weird. I'm looking. I feel like I shouldn't be watching you do this. This feels like a personal moment.
And intrusive. Mind you, we have had Picasso on the show, and he painted with an entirely different part of his body.
I wonder what that was.
I don't know. Thank God I didn't know what he said.
I think he was guessing what it was.
Yeah. You've sold some of these.
Well, it's really hard to talk to him now, isn't it? We've sort of stitched ourselves up here. But Phil, I think you know this because you've done your research. How much would one of these things go for?
Well, he sold it for, I think, a couple of £100.
Is that right? You could not.
Oh, a couple of $100, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
Yeah. But the Mona Lisa he didn't sell because I think he painted that for his brother.
Oh, OK. That one stays in the family. Would you reveal your artwork to everyone? So we can see.
A new masterpiece. It's hard to capture the beauty of both of you two, but I did my best.
Listen, he painted it with his tongue.
There's an air of The Simpsons about all of these, isn't there? I mean, I like the style, actually. I do like the style.
I'm very small compared to Phil. I'm sort of like, I'm like a parrot on your shoulder.
A little pea head.
I'm almost a gopher.
There's an idea. So with all of this, that's all incredible and amazing. And
Thank you very much.
Obviously, you've seen the world, and that's great.
Yeah.
Does it have any health negatives?
Well, I've read and heard that people can choke on their tongue during sleep.
Yeah.
And that's obviously frightening because people with normal-sized tongues shouldn't choke on their sleep. I imagine that if I have a larger tongue, I might be more likely to.
Yeah.
Thank God I have not had that experience.
No.
Yeah, God, no, that would be horrible. You get to travel the world, as Phil said, so this is your first time here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my first time in London, and my family is from England, so my grandpa is from Kent, and so I've always wanted to come to London, and this has just been a big blessing, getting to see, coming in on the airplane, seeing all the sights and all that, and then, you know, of course, getting to meet the great people and have good food and the culture. It's great where my tongue has taken me.
Look at that. Who would ever have believed it, eh? It's really lovely to meet you. Thank you so much. We've got quite a little art gallery now of paintings that have been painted by strange parts of the body.
I know.
So
what's going to be the next one? There's a challenge.
I wonder.
If you paint with a part of your body, do get in touch.
We haven't done nipples.
No.
Haven't done nipple
No,
painting.
we haven't.
Yeah.
We haven't.
Enjoy the rest of your time in London, and thank you very much indeed for coming.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.